The Vikings defense and playbook is the only one you need to be using in Madden 26 right now. It has overload blitzes, lockdown run defense, and even a coverage shell that lets you put your controller down on defense and get stops. If that sounds good to you, make sure you stick around to the end of the video because we're breaking down 6, maybe 7 tips that will transform your defense in Madden 26 from the Vikings. Let's jump right into it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna be breaking down is these nickel 3-3 odd overload blitzes. Let me show you. So we're gonna come into here, nickel 3-3 odd, okay? Coaching adjustments, you wanna make sure that you have your defensive motion response on disabled. You wanna make sure you have your RPO pass key on conservative, and then you have your curl flats on 5, safety depth and close width on pinch here, okay? Those are the coaching adjustments I like. The play that we're gonna call is overload 3 press, but you can also do this from, what's the play, hot blitz bail, okay? I just like overload 3 press because you have some more zones in the field, okay? So what you're gonna do, you're gonna show blitz your defense, boom, just like that. Now what you're gonna see is you're gonna line up on this guy pace, or wherever's in this position for you, you're gonna line up over this right guard here, okay? Now, what you're gonna notice is that you have to pass commit your defense, and you have to make sure that you're engaging with this offensive lineman, okay? Boom, engage with him, get his attention, and what does that do? It confuses the offensive line briefly. I know a lot of people like to fully engage with the offensive lineman, like actually touch him, but you don't even need to do all that because that slows you down in coverage. You see how number 0 here engages with this offensive lineman and is able to get back into coverage and guard a dig if I needed to, stop these 2 hitches if I needed to, and then what do you see? Slot corner. Blitz comes in free. 5 against 5 here, we get a guy to come in free. It really is that easy again. So let me show you again. Pass commit, you're gonna show blitz by pressing RB twice, then you're going to pass commit by pressing RB and then flicking the right stick up, okay? The play buttons will be on the screen. And then as far as coverage behind you, you can really do whatever you want. You can show more of a cover 3 look, cover 2 look, whatever you wanna do. Play a little cover 2 hard flat, cover 3 cloud, anything, right? But here's the defensive setup once again. And so when the offense goes take a snap, loop down, boom, guy comes in free because you're distracting the guard. You can do this out of so many different blitz concepts. That's why I think Vikings is so good. But when you start to really hone in on coming down just like this, getting his attention just briefly, turning him the other way, because you see your slot corner is blitzing off this side. So you're turning him away from where the blitz is coming from, and then that allows for your slot corner to come in free. But the great thing is, the reason why you want to make sure that you have defensive motion response off is because you want to always try to blitz them off of their opposite running back side. So in this case, Kenneth Gainwell is going to be on the right, the back. And so we're trying to slot corner blitz off the left here. Why? Because it's way harder for him to come across the field than to actually pick up a guy on the same side of the field as him. So we're going to pass commit our defense. We are going to set up whatever coverage you want behind the blitz. And so again, we're going to try to get this offensive lineman's attention. So boom, they take the snap. Boom, slot corner comes in free. Why is that the case? Because Gainwell doesn't even recognize the guy that's coming off the opposite side as him, or that he's standing on. You see how he never even looks to the left to see if a slot corner is coming in free. This happens very frequently, even if they ID the mic as the slot corner or someone on the left side. But you can see he's looking at my user the whole time. My user gets his attention and he's in the backfield. And then I'm still able to get back up and guard everything briefly, and take everything away. But offensive line decides they want to double team. They get confused. They have 2 dudes blocking nobody, 3 dudes really blocking nobody here. And so then we're able to get a guy to come in free. So that's why the overload 3 press blitz, the overload blitz is so dominant here in Madden 26. But honestly, blitzing here in Madden 26 doesn't just come down to calling glitch blitzes or having really good players. There's a key trick that you might be missing out on. All right, so to further illustrate this, I'm gonna come into a different defensive formation here. 3-4 odd, totally separate from nickel 3-3 odd here. And I'm gonna show you it's the same concept, okay? So all we're gonna do, we're gonna shift our defensive line right. We're going to blitz this inside linebacker, and then I'm gonna come stand right here with this this linebacker. You can actually use this defensive blitz if you want to, that I'm showing you right here, but I just wanna show you it's the same concept of overload blitzing and getting the attention of the guard, engaging, getting his attention, guards, centers, whoever it is, okay? They go ahead, call this play, boom, and we're able to see we get a guy to come in free. Why? Because I'm occupying one of the offensive linemen with my user. This is what you see all your favorite or top pro players doing, but they never tell you this. This is always the key to getting blitzes to come in. You see how 54, the center right here, how he's looking at me the whole play, pretty much, and then by the time he ends up actually blocking someone off the edge is already coming free. Boom. They have one less blocker, and so we're able to come in free. And why does this happen? Because they have a double team when they should be allocating all of their blockers to guys in a one-on-one, okay? You can see this is how many guys did I just send? I just sent 5 people against their 5-man protection, and we got a guy to come in free, okay? So that's really the key. It's the importance of, engaging, and the overload blitz is cool. We're overloading one side, but if you don't have a good user, you don't engage with the offensive line. But I'm going to block the running back this time. So now it's 6 against 5. Right, it's a 6 against 5, but really because my user is engaging with the offensive lineman, really I'm getting the same benefits as blitzing an extra player, but I don't actually have to blitz him. Now I can just take him into coverage. Okay, so boom, we're gonna see block running back, take the snap here, and we get the guy to come in free. And the great thing about it is you still get one of those guys to come in free, but now he's going to be met with a running back, which is completely fine because you see we get a defensive lineman to come in free against a running back. He's just gonna continue to just run right through that guy and get after the quarterback. It really is that easy. I always say no blitz is going to be 100% of the time, but when you start overload blitzing, dude, you start to get closer to that 100%, because all you're doing is the same thing. Pass commit your defense, boom, get the attention of the offensive line, and now you see exactly what I'm talking about, where even if you get a guy to come in free and then the running back picks him up, which you saw earlier in the video, sometimes the guy just doesn't even see him. But if you get this situation, boom, all right, running back one-on-one against defensive line, you see how he just runs right through this dude and gets after the goal. Like, this guy's gonna have no chance against a defensive end, a defensive lineman. So that's the importance of getting the attention of one of the offensive linemen so that you can allow one of your other players to come in free. All right, so like I told you, this is a full defensive breakdown of the Vikings playbook, and the next thing we're gonna be talking about is run defense. Let me show you. All right, so like I just said, the great thing about the Vikings playbook is every formation has a use here in this defense, okay? We're going to come into nickel 2-4. We're going to come into what is the play. We are working with cover 4 quarters, okay? And we're gonna have them just call any, run in the middle, inside zone run, okay? Great run defense here, okay? We're gonna be in cover 4, and like I told you earlier in the video, having our safety depth and close with our width on pinch is gonna make this way easier, okay? Because even if you have a bad user, having those safeties close to the line of scrimmage, is gonna save your butt a little bit here. But we're gonna call inside zone from them, and we're just going to try to loop around, and you see how having those safeties, those corners closer to the line of scrimmage is going to make this a lot easier here, okay? So you're gonna see it, boom, I'm gonna line up 4 yards over this offensive lineman, and now I'm just gonna loop around and try to meet that guy. Now I keep actually running into it. My other player just ran into me right there for some reason, but you're just starting to see how, like I just said, when you have a bad user or you get clipped up or whatever, you can see how the rest of your players are really there to help you out. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to loop around the offensive line and dive tackle. You see it all the time. You saw David T do this in the MTS. You saw, it just happens. When they take the snap and call inside zone runs, you're looping right through these offensive linemen. You can see how you don't want to take the bait and run through this gap right here. Please put an arrow in between 66 and 54. You do not want to just take the bait and run through that gap because you will almost always get blocked. You have to loop all the way around, and then when you see 73, he leaves his double team, goes to block the second level guy. He never sees me, and so then I just loop around, and you have to dive tackle. Press X, or I believe that is maybe square on PlayStation. So you're just going to dive tackle this guy in the backfield, and you're gonna get this little suction, and it's gonna make it very easy to bring the guy down. It's gonna save you a lot of yards on defense, and you're not gonna get caught in tackle battles, okay? But like I just said, the great thing is you have these safeties close to the line of scrimmage, and so it just makes the box count higher for you, which is gonna make it tougher for the offensive line. Once again, loop around, shoot through that gap, make that tackle, okay? And another great thing is you're gonna force them to start cutting back when you start using this technique. A lot of people like to talk about run defense is so tough. I'm getting gashed, BLT. How do I stop the run? It's really as simple as just looping around these linemen, and because you're just gonna force them to cut back. No one's gonna keep running this way. Okay, no one's gonna keep running towards the left right here because they see the whole team's over there, my users are over there. So what are they gonna try to do? They're gonna try to probably cut back into this gap right here. But then, like I just showed you, the great thing is having your safety depth and close. Look who's right there to make this play if he decides to cut back. Look who's right here to make this play if he decides to cut back. So really the great thing is when you start using this user gap shooting technique and you combine it with having your safeties on close with width on pinch, there's nowhere really for them to run. They can't cut back and they can't go to the play side. So that's how you stop the run here from this Vikings playbook. And you're probably tired of dealing with mobile quarterbacks who just escape the pocket all game. Let me show you how to stop them. All right, so you're gonna come in at dime 2-3 Sam here, and what we're going to do is we're gonna call it DB Fire 2. The Madden 23 Classic has returned here, and it's all about stopping mobile quarterbacks. Now, this isn't college football, so it's not earlier in the year where mobile quarterbacks will literally ruin your games, but slot corner blitz is still a great way if you come across someone like Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields, or really anyone, Caleb Williams, that can move around in the pocket and is fast. This is what I would do, okay? So I had to actually get rid of Aaron Rodgers here because he's too slow to even get outside the pocket. But Will Howard, 81 speed, he's decent, to showcase this, okay? Really what makes this work, you have to understand two things. This quarterback for Pittsburgh is right-handed, okay? So what does that mean? He's probably gonna try to roll out to his right because no one is gonna try to roll out to the left. You're just not fast enough. Like, even right there, I try rolling out to the left with Will Howard, a defensive lineman tackles me, okay? And that's gonna be the case for a lot of right-handed quarterbacks who are trying to escape the pocket because the angles just aren't as good. You always wanna roll out to your hand this if you can, control it. So what you're gonna see here is Will Howard. I'm gonna take this snap and I'm just gonna try to escape the pocket, and you're gonna just see how he's not even able to go anywhere. He's just basically rolling backwards. He's behind the line of scrimmage. Now, you can contain the quarterback also and make this a lot better because now you see your slot corners in a contain. You saw what happened on the last play. Well, boom, here, he's gonna, maintain that contain, and then he's gonna go get this guy down the ground before he has anywhere to run and escape the pocket. I actually would prefer you play this a little bit better. You put faster slot corners. I don't really know the speed of this slot corner here, but he honestly is doing a good job when you start to contain the quarterback. Boom, you see it again, and this time both of those dudes are there to contain the quarterback. Versus if you just call a regular 4-down lineman set and try to contain the quarterback, they have, even Will Howard, in my opinion, would be able to escape the pocket, but when they have faster guys, it's going to be even worse for you. So again, QB contain, boom, take it, and now you're able to see that guy's getting up the field and he's making that play. We get a sack, fumble, and we recover, okay? So containing the quarterback is really that simple. You don't want to be relying on these defensive linemen, 4-down linemen, nickel 2-4 QB contain, because too often they run too far up the field. EA actually did buff this in a recent title update, but even it being the case, in my opinion, the most consistent way is just take the snap. Even if you see I try rolling out to the other side, the other slot corner comes in free and is able to contain the quarterback. So, all right, so that's how you go ahead, contain the quarterback. Press RB, LB, QB contain, and now you're able to see Will Howard has nowhere to go. All right, do you have trash guys in coverage and you feel like you need more guys in coverage to be able to defend? That's perfect, because next we're going to be talking about how you can get pressured by only sending 4 people using custom stunts. Alright, so the August and September defense, nickel 3-3 single mug, again from the Vikings playbook obviously, but all we're going to do is call any play. I like Tampa 2, cover 4 quarters, Texas 4-man stunt. Now, you have other stunts that you can use, don't get me wrong, but I would say that if you're just trying to get pressure by only sending 4 people, this is a great stunt because it collapses the pocket very well. You have a cone like Aaron Rodgers back there. Now, if you're playing mud, most quarterbacks are going to be fast, and so you can't just sit in this. But against Aaron Rodgers, you could, or even if you're playing franchise regs against slow quarterbacks, you could just sit in the Texas 4-man stunt and collapse the pocket all game, and it's going to be absolutely miserable for your opponents, okay? Defense is all about understanding the offensive personnel and how you can go about attacking them. You don't need to slot corner blitz Aaron Rodgers. You don't even need to, overload blitz. You can sit in this right here and collapse the pocket all game, okay? Let me show you. You also need to incorporate the first and second tips of this video where you're engaged blitzing with the offensive line. So boom, we take it, engage with this guy, and now look at this pocket, okay? It's super compact. Now, it's the computer, so like they're just gonna cancel their drop back and eat the sack eventually. But you can just see how, look at this pocket right here where the quarterback is standing, and within 1 second of the play, we already are pushing him, the offensive lineman, back into the quarterback. They recover a little bit on that play, so congratulations to them. But again, pass commit our defense, and we are just going to take this snap, boom, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about, how that pocket collapses so fast. You're sacrificing edge pressure and edge containment because you're just trying to get in there and wreak havoc again. This is a 4-man blitz. This would do the same thing if they were blocking 6, or if they were blocking 7 people with their tight end. Boom, take it, and you can just see how that's all we're trying to do. Get in the middle, shed, and run inside, okay? These 2 guys coming off the edge, boom. This blitz used to just come in the backfield every single time regardless of pass protection. It's since been nerfed a little bit, but it still has a great use, especially against stationary cone type of quarterbacks where boom, all we have to do is penetrate the middle of the pocket and they're gonna have nowhere to go, okay? And like I said, there are other stunts that you can use. You have some of your 2-man stunts, the left exit 2-man, the left Texas 2-man, right? Then you have your El Paso 4-man stunts where everyone's in a stunt basically, so we pass commit our defense once again, boom, and now you're able to see, again, collapsing the pocket, that time collapsing it more on the edge, and then eventually, closing it off in the middle, okay? Custom stunts, in my opinion, are very underrated, especially if you want to play zone defense, because really what they do is, a lot of people are, when I play against stunts, it's so uncomfortable, it's so frustrating, and I have to have other ways to counter them because I'm not just gonna sit here and let someone send 4 people, but I don't have anywhere to step up. I don't have a pocket to step up into. That's just not gonna happen, for me when I'm playing. So, but for you, when you're on defense, you need to force them into these situations, especially if they want to have a quarterback that can't escape the pocket. Just collapse the pocket with custom stunts, pass them at your defense, and just watch how they have nowhere to go and how fast they start just forcing read down the field because no one's open, because you have more guys in coverage. Alright, so shout out to those of y'all that stuck around in the video because we're talking about the defense that will allow you to put your controller down and just guard everything. Let me show you. Alright, so if you're struggling on defense, especially if you're running zone coverage, you're going to come into your coaching adjustments, you're going to put your curl flats on default, your flats on default, and your hooks on default, okay? And you're going to come into cover 9 here. Or actually, you can come into cover 9, it's fine. You can also come into a lot of different match coverage defenses. It really just depends on the offensive formation, but match coverage in general is what's going to allow you to kind of do this. Now, you can pair this up with the first and second tips we talked about with engage blitzing with your user. You can pair this with custom stunts. You can come into the Texas 4-man custom stunt while running match coverage, and you're going to see that boom, they're going to call it just a standard pass play, whatever pass play they want to call. I'm going to take this, I'm going to user this drag across the field, and you can now see how no one else is open on the field, okay? Now, you want to make sure that you're engaging with that offensive lineman and immediately trying to see where you need to go with your user. You see how I'm a little late, and then, but we honestly end up still playing pretty good coverage, just because of the way this defense works. Boom, you're able to see we are able to guard this crosser as he's coming across the field, because look, now there's a guy sitting right here that just takes this away across the field. If they throw this, it's an easy pick. okay? This backside dig gets mashed onto by an outside quarter, or this might be a soft spot. Yeah, this is a soft spot. He follows him across the field, and then you're able to see we're able to double team this streak. Whatever route this was, it could change, where your guys are going. But the key thing that you need to understand with match coverage is your responsibilities are going to drastically change depending on what type of route combination they call. You're gonna see this time they're gonna go ahead and call stick. Stick is a little bit different than dagger, right? And so it's gonna change a little bit, what we want to do on defense. I'm still going to obviously call my Texas 4-man stunt, and so this time I'm going to take the snap, boom, we're going to collapse the pocket, and you see again, we collapse the pocket and we do a good job down the field. Stick's not the best route combination, but not everyone's a pro player. Not everyone's going to call great route combinations, but you're able to see, boom, we're just sitting on this. If they want to take this, that's fine. Boom, you're able to see also, we're able to take away their swing route, we're sitting on their hitch, and again, we're collapsing the pocket. A lot of people miss reads. We're able to take away Thielen on his out. We're able to take away DK, bracket this fade down the sideline. A lot of people see cover 2, and they're just trying to force passes down the sideline. BLT, what if I'm getting destroyed by crossers? Okay, what if they call PA crossers? Boom, we call our Texas 4-man stunt. We pass them at our defense. And let's watch how our defense plays here. Boom, I'm sitting right here on this crosser down the field, and so now nothing's open. So again, I said it's put your controller down defense. It's not like cover 2 man where you can literally put your controller down. You still have to make sure that you have a good user over the middle of the field. But when you incorporate the custom stunts to get easy, quick pressure on the quarterback, now everything's guarded, right? Normally this crosser would be wide open in the middle of the field. This secondary crosser will now know, because our slot corner, who's in a bird hook, by the way, is matching onto this. Harrison Smith, the Mutt legend, he's taking away this post route along with 23 to bracket it down the field. And then, like I said, I'm here to take away this crosser with my user. Also, my other defender helps a little bit here. And then out routes obviously taken away by our soft spot. So overall match coverage, so again, you can do this from cover 6, you can do this from cover 4 quarters, palms, cover 9. There's a lot of different match coverage defenses that you can run, cover 3 buzz match, but the key thing that you have to understand is that all of them are going to play different, a little bit different, and understanding what you need to do with your user to make sure the match coverage is locked down. All right, that's going to do it for this tutorial of the Vikings defensive playbook. Everything you need: lockdown match coverage, run stopping ability, overload blitzes. I walk you through the importance of actually engaging with the offensive line to make your blitzes better. Everything you need here is in the Vikings playbook. But I want to work with you personally to help you get better at Madden 26, okay? Click this video right here for more information on my one-on-one coaching platform and stop losing today. I'll see you on the next video.